Hey guys, how you doing? I got a very special guest today. It's Raspberry Ice. No, I was kidding. That's my brother Mike. But it's Doc McGhee, one of the best band managers ever. He's managed Kiss, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue. The list goes on and on and on. Doc, how you doing? Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much. The Iceman and the Raspberry.
Yes, because
Okay,
Ice
there
Man
you
and
go.
Raspberry.
All right.
All right, so I guess let's get into this. How did you get into managing bands? Is the first question I want to. Okay, it's always an interesting thing. How did you even start?
Well, I mean, nobody would hire me, so I had to do something. And I thought it was cooler to fly around in jets with rock stars than work construction with my dad. So
Hell yeah.
uh, basically, that's what happened. You know, and that's it.
That's cool. Now, what was what was the first band that you managed?
Actually, it was pieces of bands.
Okay.
I worked with Steve Ferrone and Hamish Stewart of the Average White Band, along with Randy Turano Sandy Turano and Howard Johnson, and put together a band called Night Flight in like '75 through a friend of mine who was doing this and wanted to hire me to be in the music business.
Right.
So I said, "Cool." He paid me. So I said,
That's a good thing.
I said, okay. So I said, okay. And I just started and and that's it.
That's awesome.
It
Go ahead,
just,
Mike. I'll let you ask something now before I take all the time.
Oh no, I mean honestly, I got to tell you though, Doc. I mean this is like serious geek time for me because you are famous,
well,
unlike Strawberry Ice.
Hey, I get the Good Brother Award though for inviting you on, right? So that helps for counts for something.
I have to put you on hold for 1 second.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna have to edit this part out.
Well, that's the executive decision there. Yeah.
So, what was the first time you went to a concert, Mike? How old were you when the first time you went? I'm just curious.
Oh my gosh. Well, so I guess the question would be is exactly what defines concert?
Okay.
Because there's like the first formal concerts that I went to.
All right, I'm back.
All right. We missed you. So I'll let Mike go ahead. I'll let you finish your question, your statement there that you're making to Doc.
I was just saying, big time geek. I got to say one of my favorite things was that AMC reality series Supergroup.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
I mean, but
I like all the guys. Ted, I love Ted. Sebastian was fun. I got to know Jason Bottom, which I didn't really know Jason that well. Very talented. A lot more together than I ever saw. I mean, I took him to Russia, when I did the Moscow Music Peace Festival, but that probably wasn't his most together time in show business. But that happens. And so, I did it for VH1 because VH1, at the time Rick Krim was running VH1 and he said, you have to do the show. And I said, well, who's on it? He said, I can't tell you. That's part of it. I said, then I'm not doing it, So he said, please just don't believe me. It'll be fine. I said, okay, and it wasn't fine, but it was okay. It worked out. It worked out okay. It was a train wreck. And, but nowadays, I mean, you couldn't do that show now.
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah. I had always assumed that you picked the artists because
No.
I mean, with Nugent and, Sebastian Bach and, I mean, obviously they were in under your tutelage for a while.
Yeah. Scotty and,
yeah.
Anthrax and stuff. Yeah, no, that was definitely an Ian from Biohazard and stuff like that. So, no, I didn't. I just had to put together the band, and I called Rick and I said, "Listen, I'm a manager. I'm not I'm not an anthropologist. I can't, I can't resurrect this thing." And then it actually was very funny because they were so clueless in what they were doing. It was awesome.
Well, the opening, the opening of it, you got Nugent going into this house by himself, just kind of wandering around. He finds the music room, just starts jamming, and then Scott Ian comes in. He's like, "Oh, hey, why don't you grab a guitar?" And and then basically everybody but Bach gets in there, and they're like, "Well, who's going to be our singer?"
And then who's going to be the manager? And then, oh my God,
that was you, right?
When I walked in, it was a little crazy. But
so how much of that stuff is staged? How much of it is that's really the way it was?
There's actually nothing staged on
okay.
it. It's pretty much fly on the wall shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
They do give a few hints of what's going to happen, what's going to go on. Like, we're going to do a show at the end of this, at Fairmont Street. They have to write a song. They have to come up with a name. It's like, oh my God. And the names were just horrible.
I think they settled on something like Damcology or something like that.
It was something very fucked up. It was comical. And Sebastian was like, it rolls off your tongue. I remember him saying that.
Oh, you're muted again. Yep.
That was bad. I forget what he there was some name. I don't know. This was years ago. So it was tough, but it was funny. It was listen, the guys played and they worked it. I couldn't believe that Ted got as involved as he did.
Yeah.
And then the first day he pulled a gun out. He pulled his gun out, so the whole crew was fucking leaving. And then, and it was just, it went downhill from there.
I know Ted Nugent's an avid hunter. Did he have any timer to go hunting while you guys were doing this, or
no, he didn't. I think he would have probably shot one or two of those guys that he had a chance.
I was gonna say, in Vegas, there's not much to hunt.
Yeah, and where we stayed was like Liberace's penthouse or something. It was really, really gaudy.
Nice.
It was. Oh no, it was perfect for that. It was a train wreck.
That was the whole point, right?
I guess that's the point. That's what good TV is. I guess a train wreck.
Right, especially reality TV shows.
I just never thought I would be in that.
Right. You're like, oh, look at me, yay!
Well, I was gonna say, I think Nugent was trying to take some of your job though too, because he was acting like the dad for part of it.
What with a lot of it, and Ted, they needed to have somebody take control. As an artist, I'm a manager. I'm not a fucking magician. You know what I mean? I can take something and try to work with it.
Right.
Try to come up with some ideas and move some stuff around, but it's really about the band. It's about what they want to do. And the problem is they never knew what they wanted to do.
Right. Does any band ever know what they want to do?
Yeah.
Other than party?
Well, something it's crazy, but the bands that, like people say, well, who's the easiest band to work with? Mm-hmm. And who was the hardest? I said, well, it's different. They go, well, Motley Crue had to be the hardest.
Right.
They really weren't. They knew what they were doing. They were Motley Crue. That's what they did.
Right.
They didn't ask me how to be Motley Crue. They didn't say to me, so what do you think we should do?
Right.
They just did their shit. They bit people and tortured people around the world. It was great. And so, it was, so they were easy to really deal with outside of the insanity.
Right.
Man. But that's really part of what artistry is, mm-hmm. to me. The artists, and to a certain extent, are out on the spectrum somewhere. They don't focus like normal people focus.
Right.
Okay. So they're fishing in deep water. Mm-hmm. So they just do shit that they come up with. You know what I mean? That
Right.
they go, and that's the fun part of my business. It's called Before the Zeros, when it was fun. Before people made money, when it was fun. When people wrote shit because they loved it, and they slept on the floor of their friend's house and drove around the country and around the world, playing pay toilets and using their own change, and having that identity with people and connecting. You know what I mean? That's the fun part to me. Once they make it, it's a fucking pain in the ass. You know, once they make it, now you got lawyers, business managers, wives, brothers, sisters, parents. Fucking everybody's a genius. You know, when the dollars start flying in. So the real fun part is that first 5 years.
So I got a question. How hard is it once a band makes it? How hard is it to keep all that stuff out, you know, and try to keep it centered, you know?
It normally doesn't, you know. I mean, hypothetically, I mean, when you look at the bands that are out there versus whether it's the Stones or whether it's a new band, it's the life expectancy, you know. So it's like a marriage, you know. I mean, they don't end and people don't go, well, I was married for 35, 40 years. No, I have been, but most people haven't been. And so these people have, you know, it's like a book 101 on how to be successful and then fuck it all up. It's completely it. You know, it's
funny. The funny part is it's true. That's the even funnier part about it. Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I've been writing a book for a few years and trying to do different things. And one of the chapters called "The Mind is a Fucked Up Thing."
Right.
Okay. Everybody has their own view of this shit, and none of them agree.
Mm-hmm.
They all have different selective amnesia.
Right.
Okay? And what happened and who did what and where it came from. And they can never go back and get it. So there's never going to be another Appetite for Destruction. There's never going to be another Slippery When Wet. There's not going to be another, Hysteria.
Right.
You know, there's never going to be Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall.
Yep.
Okay. That's just those were moments in time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those were moments in time that there was a connection. You know, and connected because they weren't doing anything but writing songs that meant something to each other.
So they spend the whole time trying to get back to that moment in time? Is that always chasing that?
Now the bass player who can't spell has to write the fucking song because he knows about publishing now. So his song has to be in. Then this guy's song has to be in.
Oh. Everybody froze on me. He froze on me.
Am I frozen?
Nope, you're not frozen.
There you go. That's
that. Nice back. There we go.
So it's just a matter of, again, it's what happens in business with partners,
right?
And everything else. It's just part of that. You know, in country it's different because it's usually one guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a band,
right?
Okay.
So speaking of, are you managing Darius Rucker right now? Are you managing?
No, I have a thing called QTR.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of it or not. It's called Quality Time Remaining.
Okay.
Okay. So my goal is I have Kiss hopefully this next year, and 23 will be wrap it up after 2 years and 2.5 years of not being able to perform the shows that we've had on sale for 3 years.
Right.
And give them a well-deserved finish to their 50-year career.
Right.
And
now, I was going to say, were you involved in the whole Dubai?
Yes.
Because that sounded like just an unbelievable.
Well, it was a master plan designed by geniuses to be carried out by idiots.
I love your one-liners, right? You're killing me with these. That's great. Okay. Keep going.
So and the show was done extremely well. It's like when people would say, "Well, why don't we do a drive-in movie theater?" I go, "Fucking, we don't do drive-in movie theaters. We may blow one up, but we don't do drive-in. Well, do something from your house and social media. We don't do shit from our house.
Right.
We blow shit up. So let's go to Dubai and blow shit up and do the biggest show in the world at the time."
Right.
And that's what it was. And it was very well shot. Dan is a tremendous director. He did a really, really good job on shooting the show. So the show was absolutely fabulous as far as the way it was shot.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of it was kind of very iffy, but that's okay. And it will come out at some point while I'm still alive, I guess.
At some point.
But we don't know. And so the Dubai thing was amazing. The documentary that we did, I thought that we did on A&E, and then we did it at Battery Park last year, was awesome, and was a really good documentary for Kiss fans or just people to understand a little bit more of Kiss. Because it's hard to feel heart in the Kiss world because we're superheroes, okay, kind of thing.
Right.
So they're WWE, okay. They don't open a kimono very much. So this kind of gave a pretty good look at it, and so I thought that was really interesting and very well done. And so we pick and choose little projects that we think will help people understand more of what Kiss is. At the end of the day, I mean, it's very tough because you may not know around the world, China, Zimbabwe, whatever, they may not know a Kiss song, but you show them the makeup on a dog, and they know it's Kiss.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
It's probably the most recognizable brand in music.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So speaking of Kiss, what's it like working with Gene Simmons? He's heard some. I'll leave it at that. What's it like working with Gene Simmons?
Gene is a great guy. He's very intelligent. He's as out on the spectrum as anybody that could be. He fishes in deep water every day. Him and Paul, they're way out there, and it was just great. And they come up with some great ideas. They've been great partners for me for 27 years. It's been, you turn around and you go, my God, I've been with him for 27 years. We've done thousands of shows in 200 countries around the world. And still we're just in South America doing 65, 70,000 people 50 years later.
Right.
Like what?
Yeah.
And so and for me, I wasn't a Kiss fan. Okay, so I didn't grow up. When Kiss was in 73 to 76, I was managing James Brown and Isaac Hayes and all that stuff, Mink DeVille, and so I was doing a lot of R&B stuff. And then I got into Pat Travers and then Motley and Bon Jovi and all the rest of them. But so I always liked the production value that they brought to the table. And it's one of those things that when you talk about influences of people, when you have, now Eric Clapton's not going to say Ace Frehley influenced me. Okay.
Right.
But Tom Morello is, and so is Dave Grohl, and so is Kurt Cobain, and so is Eddie Vedder, and so is all those people that were affected, that were 10 to 15 years old in 1973. They were affected by Kiss.
Right.
The
Kiss Army.
The Kiss Army. And so in 95, when we put them back together in makeup, the goal was to bring back Kiss.
Right.
As Kiss. Not as trying to be trying to be an alternative band or sound like something. It was to show what Kiss does. And we didn't have the fox and the fucking chipmunk and all that shit. We had the four guys,
Right.
And that's what this nucleus is these four characters. And over these 27 years, they've become extremely good. One of the best shows out there. If and I'm maybe tooting my own horn,
Toot. You're allowed to.
but it's an amazing show. And 70% of the audience, we ask them every night, how many people is this the first time you've ever seen Kiss? Okay, about 60-70% of the people say it's the first time they saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to come. So it's not about reliving rock and roll all night or Deuce, which does happen to a lot of people that do come and enjoy those songs, but the experience, and Kiss is Cracker Barrel. Okay, they have 4 generations of people that come and eat here every day.
Right. Yep.
Okay, and they come to eat together. Okay, they don't go, oh, that's my brother's music, that's my dad's music.
Right.
I had people go, I was never a Kiss fan, but my son is. I have to bring him.
Well, right here you got 2 brothers that like Kiss, so.
Yeah, I walk around. No, I walk around, talk to the kids, and talk to parents, and I mean, in South America, out of 65,000 people in Sao Paulo, there had to be 10,000 kids under 10 years old.
Oh wow!
It was crazy. It was like you go, why would you bring your kid here? Number one, but that's a whole different story. And they just loved it. They just, it's such a great feeling when you can go and actually, when the curtain opens every night, Paul goes like this, turns around, looks at me like, check this shit out.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, no, they're so excited. We've lived such a charmed life.
Right.
Man, that for 50 years you're out here doing it. And there's arguably, on one hand, you can count the bands that can do that. Ever. So it's just been, and not forced and not trying. Man, it's if you look at everything, I mean, that Ed Sheeran ran through the field and broke his arm with his brothers. Adele fucking went through every painful thing she's saying.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She sells it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce sells fucking Born to Run and all, even though he never had a job, but that's a different story. The whole thing. So with Kiss, to be able to come in and they own it. When Gene is out there, Gene is the demon, and Paul is Star Child. I mean, they literally take that character that they know so well, and they own it, and the people buy into it. Every kid under 10 cries when they see Gene. They do. They scares them to death.
Like, Mom, why'd you bring me here?
Oh, that's just not under 10.
They have Gene's makeup on.
Oh, jeez.
They love Gene until they meet him, and then Gene's standing and they're like just looking at him and they go, they lose their shit.
Big scary guy. So yeah. So are you traveling with them on the current tour?
So I'm there at every show. I may have missed 10 shows in 27 years, maybe.
Oh, wow.
I've always been partners with Gene and Paul on that, because the dynamic is just us three together.
Mm-hmm.
And if Paul wasn't there, it wouldn't be the right dynamic. If Gene wasn't there, it wouldn't be the right dynamic. The same with me. So it's kind of like us three do this with, small team. We do everything on Kiss.
So are you home now? Or are you in South America now?
No, I'm home. I just got home. I leave Sunday for Europe for 2 months.
Oh, okay. That's because I remember the email back and forth with Lynn, and I thought you were back in town. That's why we had to do this then. So I had to get you in between your travels.
No, we just got back.
So you guys going to Europe? What part of Europe are you guys going to?
Well, we do 19 countries this time.
Oh wow!
We do 19 countries, 27 shows, something like that.
Jeez.
So
how do you remember where you're at?
Well, I mean, I book it all, so so I get it, and some of the shows are really monumental for us. Verona, Nîmes in France, which we haven't played, another Coliseum, 13th century Coliseum.
Cool.
And we just blow shit up. I don't know why they're letting us do it, but
because you kiss. That's why.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah. And so we, that's usually held for Sting and stuff like that. But but anyways, we have downloaded a few festivals we're playing, and we're actually having a great time.
It sounds like it.
Even with all the COVID and all the shit that's going on,
right?
It's just not much fun.
No, I'm glad that stuff is hopefully over. We're done with that stuff.
I don't think it'll ever be over, but I think we have to get back to a society that will work through it.
Absolutely.
You have to, you can't. This cancel culture that has happened in the last 10 years here is ridiculous. And we don't raise warriors. We raise victims.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad for the United States, believe me. But still, if you have a problem with the U.S., politics, whatever, fucking go down to South America for a couple of months.
Right, exactly.
Check that shit out. That shit out. Go over to the Eastern Bloc countries. Go over to Europe. Check that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
See if and you'll be right back here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you hear, whether it's Whoopi or anybody goes, well, if he gets elected, I'm leaving. Nobody left.
No, nobody left.
Nobody left.
No.
Well, I offered some plane tickets, but
but the whole thing is, if you vote and you lose, you support who's there.
Right.
And we have to have a nation that's united, not this nation that is fighting tooth and nail against each other every step of the way on control issues.
Mm-hmm.
To where they're going to stop you guys pretty soon from what you put on your shows. There'll be a guideline. There'll be a guideline for podcasts, what you can say and what you can't say, and that will go because everybody wants this one world. Something I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. Mm-hmm. I'm not an independent. I'm a patriot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I am. And so if you believe any politician, then you believe that the stripper loves you.
Exactly. That's very well put. Now, full disclosure, my brother here is from the Navy too, so he's a Navy vet. So you gotta just want to put that out.
I'm a vet. I was in the Army and all that stuff, but but on that front, it's just it's a great country. We have these freedoms that we should be fucking fighting for and changing and getting back to, the way people should be living.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to be a kid growing up now.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm glad they didn't have the internet and cell phones when I was a kid, because I could have got myself in a lot of trouble. I'll just put it that way.
I would have never been in prison. But that was, and to find out where I was. When I grew up, I had to be home by dark. When the street lights came on, I had to be home. That was it.
Me too.
That's all it was.
I could go wherever I wanted, but I had to be home.
We had a party line at the house. So my parents would have to wait to at least call somebody to find out if I was over at somebody's house.
Right.
We had one phone. We had one television. We had one bathroom for 8 people.
Wow. 6
kids and 2 adults. These people here would kill themselves if they had any of this. They have 2 kids. They get on an airplane. This looks like Kiss going on tour. They got fucking 75 fucking bags. They got wires on the kids. The kids they got handcuffs on their legs. They're dragging them down. It's like, wow. And if the kid falls down, oh my God, how could he fall down? Yeah, it's unbelievable. But that's why we're in this now. So that's all we can do.
I love seeing the animal leashes in the airports. Kids wearing a teddy bear backpack and it's got a 10-foot leash on it.
So yeah, it's got more. He's got chips on him. Guy's got his phone out. He says, "I go, he's fucking right there. Stand him right there." Like, I just want to make sure it works. I want to make sure it works.
Right. Beep, beep, beep. Yep, it works.
Well, where's he going to go? You got him on a leash. Where's the kid going to go? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's way different from when I grew up. Now, where did you grow up at, Doc?
I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I was born in Virginia, but moved to the south side of Chicago when I was like about a year old. Okay. I was born in Virginia. I was a year old. I said, let's get out of here. Move to Chicago. So it was fun. Yeah.
So does that mean you grew up a White Sox fan?
Actually, I was a Sox fan because I liked the Sox, not because there was some South Side.
Yeah.
I just liked the Sox, but I liked the Cubs too. Okay. I like both. I was a baseball player when everybody played baseball when they grew up. So I played baseball and football and wrestled. My family was very sports. We had 4 boys, and they were all athletes. And my younger brother Scott, he played for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Played for the Toronto Argonauts, played for the Houston Gamblers, and then went back to the Bears and blew his knee out and went back with what's his name from Boston.
The Patriots?
No. He went with what's his? He's a good friend. His son's autistic too. He's a quarterback. Went up to Canada.
And played. Doug Flutie?
Yeah, Doug Flutie.
Okay.
So, and they went back, and Doug stayed, and Scott blew his knee out. So he came to work for me. So,
so you got a family business now.
No, Scott's on his own, and he does his own. He does his own thing. He's working with some artists, and he's got a big one that he's putting together now with Pantera, which is awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I really like those guys, and Phil and Rex and all of them. And they're going to put an amazing show on because we're going to make sure it's an amazing show.
Nice. I know I'm a Pantera fan. I'm pretty sure Mike is.
I may have listened to him once or twice,
So I had some notes here that you owned an arena football team at one time. I think the football team was the team.
Gene Paul and I owned the LA Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And not because we wanted to be NFL owners in the future or be in the arena. The idea for me was to have them be able to talk to a different crowd,
right?
To talk to sports people, and to get into sports radio, right. and to have that connection with because Darius is so good with sports. He's amazing in sports.
Oh yeah.
And so I just said, let's do it. Let's put it together. And, we did. And, Bon Jovi had the soul.
Yeah. I was telling my brother that. I was like, I'm pretty sure Bon Jovi owned one too. I couldn't remember what the name of it was.
Yeah, it's the Philadelphia Soul. Mm-hmm. And he did very well with that. And at one point, it was evaluated at $35-40 million back, 20 years ago.
Right.
And then the league went to shit, and then they put it back together again, trying to do, it was really a pretty good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a master plan designed by geniuses to be carried out by idiots. But anyways,
right.
They and so, everybody was supposed to not pay players except for what should they get paid, which didn't work. Everybody wanted players, and then it got to be, it's like politics. somebody gets elected, a young kid in Chicago or something gets elected, he wants to change
Right.
the way things are happening in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And then the older guys set him down and go, "You think you're going to change the way we do shit here, bud? I don't think so."
Right.
So we went through that whole thing with that, and at the end of the day, the Arena Football League could not run outside of buildings owning the team.
Okay.
If the buildings owned the team, they could do it. They had 9 or 10 games a year.
Right.
They had a sales staff. They had a ticketing company. They had all the ancillaries that they could do. Like if they want to do women's basketball, which they do, a lot of them do. They have the team, and they don't make any money on it, but it builds the brand of that and gets the community more into coming to see. And arena football is awesome when you go see it.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah, we go down to the Tampa Bay Storm. My wife's from Florida, so they were huge Storm fans. So I was been to a couple of those games.
Yeah, so it's a very fast moving game.
Mm-hmm.
You're right in front of it. I mean, the worst seat in the house is what you pay the most for at an NFL game.
Right.
Because you're about 20 rows up in the middle. Okay. Yeah. 20 rows up puts you at the top of the fucking arena.
Right.
And so it's a very fast moving, very hard hitting game. And so we really enjoyed it, for the 4 years we had it, before the league kind of fell apart.
Right. What do you got, Mike? You got anything else?
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, so, since this is supposed to be a sports broadcast.
Whatever.
Exactly.
What's any time in history, what would be your favorite sports team?
Oh, Jesus. My favorite sports team.
Leave it to the rock and roll guy to get the hard sports
question. I'd have to go for football. I'd have to say the Dolphins.
Ooh, what year?
I just 72.
So you and Darius got something in common. The Dolphins made you cry.
Yeah, I was there. I went to the game in 72.
The undefeated season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 17-0.
Yeah.
I moved to Florida then. I just got out of the Army, moved down there. So I always liked that. I like Alabama as a football team because I like dynasties. Mm-hmm. I like what Saban and coaches can bring to the game. I like coaches like Parcells, and I like stuff that they have this way to move people, to empower their players to be, because when you're in college, you may only have a player for 1 or 2 years,
right,
and then they move on, okay, and then they're either juniors or seniors or go on, and when you see the dynasties that are there, you see them continuously over and over and over, having those great teams because of the coaching,
right,
and their managers. Their managers of rock bands are the same thing,
right?
They have to motivate, empower, build confidence, team effort kind of things. They have to instill that in their players, and that's why I enjoy watching that type of a sport. That I don't understand soccer that much.
That makes two of us. I'm sorry.
I guess
he likes it.
I like it. But...
I don't dislike it. I just don't. I have a hard time following it. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better at it.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
So I got a question for you. Now you mentioned Kiss is kind of like the WWE of rock and roll. Now you guys, I saw this because I love wrestling back in the 90s, and I still watch it, but 90s wrestling was awesome. Now I saw you guys play on Raw.
We did.
Couple times.
We did Raw.
Yeah.
We did Raw. We were, again, like I said, we do Kiss Scooby Doo, we do Hello Kitty, we do stuff for kids. Our brand is we're not that precious. Like people say to me, they go, well, how do you come up with all these ideas,
Mm-hmm.
to sell stuff?
Right.
And I go, it's easy. We find shit that people buy and we put Kiss on it.
Right.
It's not
Exactly.
it's not that
It's
difficult.
not that hard.
That's it.
So how hard was it to I guess to set the stage up and everything for Raw? Because you're only out there for like one song to set everything up and get it going. So and the pyro and all that stuff.
It's a 3 hour setup,
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 hour setup, and maybe five, and then done at about 2 in the morning and out. So it's not that hard.
Now, my brother here told me that you are, or at least you were, I don't know if you still are not, involved into the
Recovery Network.
There you go, Recovery Network. Are you still involved in that?
Yeah, I do a lot with, not a lot, but I speak on some stuff, and the artists have been, had their troubles, and we've gone through that, and my family, some of my family and stuff like that. So, it's an area that touches everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And,
absolutely.
And it's not necessary to say, I've said to people, hey, man, maybe you should drink because sobriety is not for everybody. You happen to be an asshole. You're sober, so maybe you should drink. I don't know. But, it's so all that stuff happens. Yeah. But I am big on it. Just because I think it's healthy, and I see too many people going the other way,
right?
And kids going the other way. And nowadays, with fentanyl and everything else that they do, everything's a stepping stone, and the next thing you know, it's you have a dead kid, which is or Taylor Hawkins or something, all that stuff. So it's not good.
Exactly.
So when you got clean, I mean, did you go through a program?
No, I was never. I didn't have a problem. I just decided I just didn't like it.
Right.
I guess there's, I mean, so I just didn't want to. I couldn't remember having fun doing it, and and I just really wanted to be on top of my shit and feel good. I play golf and I have a good life. I have a great life. I have a great wife. I have an awesome life. I live a charmed life.
Sounds like it to me. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it is. It is.
So you are now. Tim, who set this up, said you guys are, I think, going to be in Louisville in September. Is that correct?
Yes, we're in Louisville, and we do 2 festivals. We do the Louisville show, and then we're doing the West Palm Beach makeup show.
Okay.
At the same time, and then we do Sacramento, which is another festival.
So how many concerts have you had to quote unquote make up because of the pandemic?
About 180.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow.
So far, we'll end up with a couple hundred by the time we're done.
So do you guys ever get tired of being on the road, or is it just normal for you?
It's a necessary evil. You can't think of it that way. You just have to do it. Yeah.
All right.
It's work.
Okay, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I mean, traveling for work, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us go sit in a plant in Germany. Some of us, concert
makeup on and blow shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. I get on a jet at 4:00 and go to work.
Yeah. There you go.
Fly to a town and blow shit up and leave. It's awesome.
That should be a T-shirt. I show up, blow shit up, and leave.
That's what
I got a kiss T-shirt for you. There you go.
There you go. I might do that. There you go.
All right, Doc. Well, I appreciate it, man. Mike, you got anything else you want to add or anything before we end this thing here?
Last question. So, if you were to turn on music right now, who would you turn on?
Wow.
Don't say Taylor Swift.
No. Although I do like Taylor.
Yeah.
I would probably be more into Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
I enjoy Ed. I like Darius.
Mm-hmm.
I like listening to his. He's a good storyteller.
I like Darius a lot.
I'm a storyteller guy. I'm a sucker for a good story.
Exactly. Sounds good.
Fair enough.
Anything else, Mike?
I was just gonna say, hey, it was really great having a chance to talk to you. Like I said, I'm kind of a geek, so I really appreciate the
So
opportunity.
he might
Well,
show up with the star on his face next concert. It might be this guy.
there you
Right.
go. When we hit around your town, hit me up and we'll get you backstage.
Absolutely. So I'm already hitting Tim up for that. So that's why I said the Louisville
Not a problem.
Louisville one.
I said Louisville will be good. We'll
There
do
you
that.
go. Sounds good to me, man. Doc, I appreciate it, man. And like I said, we'll have to do this again sometime. This is really cool. I really enjoyed this.
Well, I hope you have a lot of success with this, and good luck, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Be safe out there.
You too. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.